everyone, my name is Meaghan Wingbermuehle. I am a Senior Manager and State and Local Group Tax Leader here at DHJJ. Today we are going to take a dive into some Chicago taxes. As many of you know, Chicago has their own taxes on a local level. Your business does not necessarily need to be located in Chicago to have a filing requirement. This is a full list of the current Chicago taxes. Highlighted tend to be the most common that we will go more into detail on. First up, we have Amusement Tax. This is a 9% tax on charges paid. This is for in-person amusement like concerts, theaters, comedies, etc., all subject to this tax. In recent years, Chicago clarified that streaming services such as Netflix, Spotify, other gaming services, and other streaming services are subject to this 9% amusement tax as well. This tax is filled out on Form 7510. Next up, we have Employer's Expense Tax. This is a tax of $2 per employee per month. It applies to businesses that employed 50 or more full-time workers or employees that performed over 50% of their work in a calendar quarter in Chicago. Now, this tax was repealed effective January 1st of 2014. Why is this important? Why are we talking about a tax that's repealed? Statute of limitations. If you've never filed in the city of Chicago, you do not have a statute of limitations running with the city of Chicago. Therefore, since no statute of limitations is running, your whole previous years that you've been in business are open for audit. With no filing, no statute of limitations can run. Once you start filing, a statute of limitations will start to run, and they are limited to their years that are open. Next up, we have a personal property lease transaction tax. This tax is two different rates. We've got 7.25% of charges for non-possessory leases, and we have 9% of receipts or charges for other leases. This applies to businesses or individuals that either are the lessor or lessee of personal property used in Chicago. Big thing that we see this with is rental of equipment in Chicago, such as cranes or tools. This applies a lot to construction companies. Now, if you are a lessee of a piece of equipment in the city of Chicago, but your lessor did not charge you the 9% tax on that, then you would have to self-assess the personal property lease transaction tax. In recent years, Chicago's clarified on non-possessory computer leases that are part of this personal property lease transaction tax as well. This is a lease of computer or software to input, modify, retrieve data supplied by the customer. Location for this is super important. The customer should be in Chicago to have this charge. This can apply to platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, or software as a service, such as SaaS, which you've probably heard that terminology. A subscription to an interactive website is subject to the lease, even if most of the information on the website is fleeting and transitory. Websites that provide financial research, information, and analytical tools are just one of the few sites that are subject for these taxes. There is a small new business exemption available for non-possessory computer leases. To qualify for this business exemption, you must hold a valid and current business license issued by the city or other jurisdiction, and during the most recent full calendar year prior to the annual tax year for which the exemption is being claimed, have under $25 million in gross receipts or sales. Now, this is combining any unitary business groups. And then finally, you should be in operation for fewer than 60 months. If you have met these requirements, you are exempt as a lessor or lessee, and there is a tax exemption certificate that should be filled out and put on file with the lessor and lessee in this situation. The next tax that we're going to talk about is the non-titled personal property use tax. This tax is 1% of taxable purchases. The first $2,500 in purchases or $25 of tax are exempt. This is imposed on the purchase of non-titled personal property for use in Chicago from a retailer outside of Chicago. There is home rule and non-home rule tax credits that you can receive up to 1%. For example, if you purchase something from a nearby suburb, that has a home rule of 1.25% built into the sales tax that you paid, you can get a credit up to the 1% non-titled personal property use tax against the 1%. Use means a person is exercising right to or power over tangible personal property as an owner. It does not include sale of property, use of the property for demonstration purposes, interim use for a retailer before being sold, physical incorporation of tangible personal property as an ingredient into another tangible personal property transported outside the city. Also, everything that's stated in the Illinois Use Tax Act as exempt is also exempted. A big example of what this applies to are online purchases, or again, purchases from a vendor in the suburbs, contractors who may be purchasing outside of Chicago for building within Chicago. All of these items will be subject to the 1% non-titled personal property use tax. Thank you for your time today. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to your DHJJ CPA or me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining us today.